Oh, welcome to today's discussion on enzymes as a catalyst. Right here, let's see, give me my pointer. So, where am I? So, right here, we have what looks like a fire. Now, one way I like to think of enzymes is they're something that speeds up a chemical reaction. So, if you are you're having a barbecue on a charcoal grill, it can take your mom or dad or whoever's getting the thing going a long time to get those briquettes going if they just light them on fire. Typically, what you'll do is you'll take a little amount of the briquettes, the little charcoal, put some charcoal lighter fluid on it, light it, and then it gets the fire going right away. That lighter fluid is a catalyst. It is something that speeds up a chemical reaction. That's what we're going to talk about today. So let's look at this picture. We have what looks like a teenage kid, and he's got something that looks like Mentos right here, and Diet Coke. And then he has a security guard that looks like he's working at the airport. He's like, what's going on here? Why does the security guard think there's something suspicious going on? What could this guy be up to? Let's find out. Is there something? What's our guiding question? What can happen if you mix Diet Coke or Coca-Cola with Mentos? Is that going to do something? So, let's see. Let's mix Coke and Mentos together and see what happens. This little girl's going to see what the results are. So, she's got her Coke and she's got some Mentos on this little string here, and she's going to put it into this bowl or cup. Sorry. So, first, she's going to pour the Coke into the cup, measuring it out. Ooh, that's some pretty fresh Coke. It's pretty fizzy. And then she's made this little contraption with putting the Mentos. And she's going to put that into the 2-liter. Tighten it a little. And this is going to let her control the reaction. So she's going to drop the Mentos into the Coke. Whoa! We've got a little explosion here. So, a chemical reaction is a process that changes one set of chemicals to another. Okay? So, the Mentos in the previous screen, the Mentos and the Coke mixed together cause a chemical reaction to occur, and that causes a carbon dioxide to form and shoot out of the container. So, one example is when you have metal. So if you have like a car or anything that's metal, it's typically covered with paint to keep it sealed away from the weather elements. In this case, some of the paint has started to be ripped off, weathered off, fall off. And when it is exposed to oxygen, O2, you get what's called a chemical fire or rust. This is a chemical reaction that is going on. Easy example would be is if your parents ever get in a minor fender bender car accident, within a day or two, if there's some rain or water that happens, that exposed metal on the car will start to begin to rust. That's why you always want to keep bare metal painted. So, reactants and products. The reactants are the compounds that enter a reaction. So, I like to think of a math problem. We've got what's going into the math problem right here, and then we have the products, what's coming out. So in this, the reactants are the compounds that enter the math problem. So the Mentos and the Coca-Cola. Then we put those together, we get the chemical reaction, and the product, the end result, is going to be the CO2 or the product. So enzymes. Some reactions that make life possible are too slow to happen on an everyday basis. So kind of like that lighter fluid, we need to speed things up. So living things, including humans, produce enzymes to help speed up the process. Another thing, enzymes are proteins. Enzymes are conserved. This means they are recycled. So they're going to go around and around and around. enzymes have an active site to connect with a specific substrate. The enzyme is going to connect with that substrate, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And this helps make the chemical reaction take place. Enzymes, as I said before, are also known as catalysts because they speed up a chemical reaction. So here we have a picture of just food that's been laying around. Somebody threw it in a bucket and they're just going to see what happened. So after 74 days, let's see how long it takes this food to break down. So think of like if I swallowed a whole bunch of food this morning, if I did nothing to help it, it might take a long time to break down. So some of the food, the soft tissue stuff is going to break down a lot faster. But the harder stuff like the squash, the zucchini, cucumbers, apples, they're going to take a lot longer. So apple's starting to go, but it's still pretty solid. Some of the stuff's breaking down, but it's still showing its shape. Yeah, I mean, still, we're just getting a little color here. The potato's actually starting to flower. We got a new plant there. Sorry. After about 74 days, that stuff's still not really broken down. We don't have access. We can't use the nutrients in there. So enzymes and substrates. Enzymes have an area called an active site. So this is where they're going to connect to. Specifically, the enzyme is going to attach to the substrate. That's the thing that's going to be broken down. They also are known as catalysts. Okay, so here we have sucrase. That's the enzyme. Okay, it is going to come together. Sucrose, remember we talked about that yesterday. That's one form of sugar. Now, in the small intestine, the sugar will connect with the enzyme. And basically, the stored stuff in that sugar can't do anything without being broken down. Meets the enzyme, it gets broken apart, then we can use it. Okay? The water comes in, it breaks it apart, and the result is we get fructose and glucose. Then that enzyme, doesn't leave your body. It just keeps on going around. It gets recycled, used over and over and over again. So last, think of enzymes as a lock and a key. Okay, the enzyme is going to be the lock. The substrate is going to be the key. So here I have the substrate, so like that sugar, it comes and attaches to the enzyme. We have our active site right here where they connect, kind of like the lock going into the key. Unlock it, boom, you get to the product here. This enzyme is going to get recycled over and over again. Okay, that's it. Hope this helps.